Hello, I'm Rick Anthony, and this is Race for Peace, a movement that started about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and is sweeping the area. Started by a young man who had a vision, and his vision was to create a community of people, particularly law enforcement and the communities they serve, to break down the barriers that have existed for too long between the people who are whose mission is to save, protect, secure a community, and those who benefit from the efforts they make, many times putting themselves and their lives at risk. With me is the founder of Race for Peace, Andrew Howell.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rick. How's everybody?
Just terrific. This is one in a series of programs that Radnor Studio 21 has been producing to support Race for Peace and to support the good work that Andrew and his committee of now of well over 100,
Yes.
most of them police officers, superintendents of police, etc., throughout the region, and a number of events that they have scheduled in the past, have scheduled coming up. We'll be talking about that again to bring communities together, and some great stories have come out of the shows we've done, particularly with the police and their engagement with their community.
Yes, Rick does.
This is a special program, though, because we're here today to honor St. Joseph's University, the students at St. Joseph's University, and the entrepreneurship program at St. Joseph's University. And to do that, we have two guests. One is Marc Kramer, who is executive in residence at St. Joseph's University, and a student of his, Aidin Bharti. Close enough? Close enough. And we'll talk more about their project and how it caught our attention. I might as well tell that story. Several weeks ago, I saw an item in the newspaper, and it was reporting on a project that several students, it was the entrepreneurship, Student Entrepreneurship Club, I guess it is, at St. Joseph's University, had taken on a project and to produce a videotape that portrays how people should behave in the unfortunate event of being stopped by a policeman for a vehicular violation of some kind. It's happened to all of us. I know I freeze up when occasionally it's happened to me, and the policeman comes up behind me, and all of a sudden I say, "What did I do? And what do I do now? How should I act? Where should my hands be? What don't I do?" Yeah. Well, this student group took on the project of creating a simulation on videotape to instruct people on how they should behave and to show the appropriate protocols to avoid conflict, to lessen the level of anxiety, so that certainly this isn't going to be a pleasant exchange, but at least one that isn't as harrowing as it could otherwise be. Marc, maybe we could start with your giving us some background. What was the origin of the project? How did it evolve? And then we'll show the video.
Sure. I'm teaching a class in social entrepreneurship, and one of the things we wanted to do with the class was, I said, let's pick a class project that we can get behind so you can learn about social entrepreneurship, which social entrepreneurship isn't just nonprofit, it could be a for-profit business as well. What could we do that would make an impact on society? So at that time, of course, there were a lot of issues with police pulling over especially young black men and what happened as the result of that. And so when we talked about in the class, and the class is, the vast majority are white students, they said, I've been pulled over too. I jumped out of my car, didn't realize I wasn't supposed to jump out of my car, and therefore had a negative experience with the police when that happened. So I was talking to my daughters, I have one 27, one 24, and she said, Dad, I never told you, but I was pulled over by the police, and the first thing I did was I jumped out of the car, figured I should greet the guy like you do in a car accident when you go and talk to the person. And the policeman, first thing he said to me was, get back in the car. Don't do anything until I tell you what to do. So I said to her, we're thinking about creating a website and a video for this. Would this be useful? She said, absolutely, this would be great. So the students got behind us, and we did this video, and Aidin built the site. Aidin is a serial entrepreneur. He's part of the Entrepreneurship and Family Business Club at St. Joe's. Aidin said, I will take this project on for you, and Aidin and I work on other projects as well. So I was thrilled that he jumped on this project, and was thrilled that we were invited onto the show and that the Inquirer did a big piece on it. Yeah. I mean, in the first 24 hours, we had 2,000 people that looked at the site.
Really?
Yeah. So, and we're right now currently marketing it out to police chiefs across America so they can post it on their website. And then we're also going to be talking to the driver's ed classes. We had a driver's ed instructor contact us and said he's sending it to all his students. He thought it was great.
I thought it was great too. Aidin, tell us how it evolved. You had the support and guidance of the Lower Merion Police Department, particularly Police Superintendent Mike McGrath. Is that correct?
Correct.
How hands-on were they in helping you put together the show?
So they were extremely hands-on. I mean, they worked with all the students involved to particularly develop the videos. And I mean, we have a series of 3 videos currently on the site. And the one main attraction would be our traffic stop video, which, as you said, it shows a simulation of what might happen in a traffic stop. So it goes through every step, and we're so grateful to the Lower Merion Police Department for taking the time to help us with this project. And you know, it goes through every step, through when you see the lights in your rear view mirror to pulling away from the officer. And there's also another video in which we have an officer explaining, you know, how he wound up in the police and in the Lower Merion Police Department, how he, you know, kind of sees, you know, being a police officer as someone who can support the community as well. And that's what we really wanted to take away from this, and what we really gained out of working with the Lower Merion Police Department is that they're here as a community organization to support, not really detract from anything. They're here to support all the local community members, all the people that are here in their demographic, and that's so beneficial to just everyone involved.
When I saw the article, I contacted Andrew, called his attention to it, and said, take a look at it, because I think what this student group has done is aligned with the mission of Race for Peace. Right? Better understanding, better communication, lower the temperature between police and the communities. Your reaction to the video when you saw it?
I thought it was amazing, Rick. I mean, what these young guys done and what the individuals done and what they take part in is sort of, you know, like you said, mirrors the Race for Peace with our role play, with educating the community on, you know, when the police stop you as to what measures to take and what not to do. So it's like a dual education. So the police are getting educated on the community, and the community is getting educated on, you know, what the students should and should not do. And I appreciate it.
You've told me in the past, and some of the people we've had as guests on the show, including police, have shared with us how much they've learned when they go into a community group or they go into a classroom.
Exactly.
Hearing for the first time, maybe, or at least better appreciating the attitude, some of the anxiety, some of the concerns on the other side. I'm thinking about Superintendent McGrath, particularly when he talked about going into a mosque and taking his shoes off and having to respect that culture and their religion, and what he and some of the others who were there learned from that experience.
Well, taking them out of their comfort zone, where they're normally used to wearing sneakers or, you know, the boots or the shoes.
Yes.
And when you took your sneakers off, that was like, whoa. So it really educated them. And I love the honesty
Yes.
that they took, because they didn't have to say that.
No.
So they're very honest about what they're actually learning, you know, and the community's learning a lot from the police that they haven't never thought of in a million years. So we really appreciate individuals when they take on the task of peace, which is very easy, as you should see. These guys made that very easy, very incredible. We're recruiting these guys as members.
Of course, we're
You know, and we're happy to have them aboard.
That's
and to share their
132, right?
expertise.
132.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we show the video? It's about 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Correct.
Yes.
And this is one of 3.
Yes.
This is the actual simulation of someone being stopped.
Yes.
Yes.
How long, curiosity question, how long did it take to shoot that and to do it so that you had something you could use?
So the shooting part, I believe we took about
Well, it took about a half an hour
Yeah.
to go and to shoot all 3.
That's all?
But it only took 2 turns to go and actually shoot the video that they're going to see. Our actors, who are students, and the policeman was an actual policewoman from Lower Merion Township. They were able to do it after one take. They were able to get it right.
Although it was a simulation, did the students who played the driver,
Yeah.
did they experience the kind of anxiety that is real life when
Yes.
a police officer walks up behind you?
Yeah, it's funny,
And you know
student-
that police officer has been trained to be very careful
Yeah.
and is being defensive himself or herself,
yes, and
as you are.
And she explains in the video what she's thinking. And the student said that even though it was a simulation, he felt like he was literally being put. I mean, you could see the look on his
Yeah.
face is still nervous. And, you know, if they look at the other videos that they're not going to see on this particular show, but they'll see on the site, one of the policemen said that when he was 17, he was pulled over, he jumped out of the car, and the policeman yelled at him to get back in the car. So he said he would venture to guess that more than 50% of people, that's the natural reaction.
It is. It happened to me on Lancaster Avenue.
Yeah.
It was just in front of Villanova.
Yeah.
And they were stopping a number of cars. And they pulled me over, and I just reflexed because I knew one of the police.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll go. And the policeman I knew
Yeah.
barked at me,
Yeah.
get back in the car.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And I never knew that was expected.
Yeah.
The point, it's ignorance. I just didn't know.
But no, we're not taught that. If you take a look at the driver's ed test,
Yes.
there is nothing on the driver's ed test that tells you how to interact with the police. There's nothing on the actual exam. So when my kids took the driver's test, and it was different than when we went,
No.
you know, it was red light, green light,
Yeah.
you know, state police may ask you 10 questions, of which were obvious. But now there are 250 different things that you need to know to pass the driver's test, even
Yeah,
though they're
right.
only asking you, I guess, still 10
Yeah.
questions, but 250, because I ended up cutting them up for my daughter to help
Hmm.
her prepare for it. And not one of those questions is about how do you interact with the police.
The best experience, if you can have the best experience by being pulled over by a state policeman, particularly on the turnpike, he pulled me over, and he was very nice.
Uh-huh.
And the best part was, we were finishing up, you know, he's writing the ticket, and he said, and by the way, I like your car.
Yeah.
I have another quick story.
Yeah.
My son lives up in Chester Springs, and he was coming down to work in Wayne. His office was in Wayne, and he was driving a Jag.
Yeah.
And he was in the back roads early in the morning, and so there was really no traffic, so he
Right.
felt free spirit. Well, there was a policeman waiting,
Yeah.
and that had been where the policeman waited for what he knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
So he stopped my son, and the policeman said to my son, I've been waiting for you. And my son said, I got here as quickly as I could.
I have to
So
say
the
that-
policeman broke up laughing.
I have to say this, that one time I was in Spring Garden and the police pulled me over, and I was worried about why was I being pulled over. And the police officer said to me, your lights aren't on and it's getting dark outside. And I said, I just got this car. I'm not sure because of the electronics.
Yes.
So he's here, let me show you. He showed me, and no ticket. And then let me drive on my way. So he built up, you know, like I felt good about
Sure,
the interaction.
sure.
I mean, he could have easily have given me a ticket, but he didn't. He just showed me how to do it, told me we had a nice car, and he hoped I enjoyed driving it.
Yeah.
It was all very positive.
Let's take a look at this is one of three,
Correct.
and this is the simulation.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to let you know that this traffic stop is being video and audio recorded, okay? All right, I pulled you over because I realized you did not stop at the red traffic signal at the last intersection. All right, were you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. May I see your license, registration, and insurance, please? All right, is this your vehicle?
No.
Parents' vehicle?
It's
Okay. All right, I'll take a look at the documents, all right? You have license, you have your registration, you have your insurance card? You just pulled out anything there. Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna inspect your documents. Is this your current address?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Right now, I'm just gonna let you know, I'm most likely gonna give you a warning, written warning for that violation back here.
Thank you.
Okay? Now, right now, we're gonna go back to the car. You need to stay in the vehicle, right? Keep your hands right. Understand? All right, remember, all right?
Okay, so
You're in my initial approach to the driver, I slowly approach just to watch to see what's going on in the car, to see how many occupants, to see if he's making any furtive movements or a lot of movements in the car, and he's possibly hiding something. So I slowly approach the door, and upon the approach, I make sure I stay what's considered the V pillar of the door. I don't go past this post here at the door, just so to protect myself. Okay, so I make sure I watch his hands just to see where they are initially upon my approach. I let him know why I stopped him. Actually, before that, I informed him that the traffic stop is being video and audio recorded. I do have a microphone on, and the camera comes on when we hit the lights. Okay? So I do advise him of that. I tell him why I stopped him. And from that point, I ask him for his information, license, registration, and insurance. Sometimes there is small talk. I ask, hey, where are you going? Where are you coming from? I just try to get an idea of, what he's thinking of during his travel. And once he hands me over the documents, I look to see if he's nervous, see if there's any signs of intoxication or any signs of any other behavior beyond the initial traffic stop. Once I get the documents, I examine them, bring them back to the car to run it to get additional information on his license and vehicle.
This was the first time that you and your fellow students had been involved in a project of this kind.
Correct.
Again, what did you know about videotaping, about developing a simulation, about developing a concept, a storyboard, and then working it up so that it ends up as a 3-minute plus video?
So during my sophomore year of high school, I actually started my own video production business.
Oh, you are an entrepreneur.
And so I was pretty well versed in art of storytelling, the art of cinematography, directing, storyboarding. I was all very familiar with those concepts. So for myself, I didn't have much of an issue with it. For me, it's something I do on a daily basis,
Yeah.
running my own business.
You still have the business?
Yes. I still, while being a student at St. Joe's, I run my business full time.
When do you graduate?
I'll be graduating in 2020, so I'm currently a sophomore.
Terrific. That's great.
Yeah, it's a photography
We
business.
can use him.
Definitely.
We got to use
You
him.
guys really-
Okay, it's presentation time. We have for each of you a little remembrance that Andrew is presenting. You want to read it?
Yes.
Oh, you old man, you.
Getting old. On behalf of the Race for Peace Committee, we wish to recognize Marc Kramer, Executive in Residence at the St. Joseph University Hobbs School of Business Entrepreneur Club for their production of Police Safety, a video portraying how drivers should interact with police officers in the event of a citation for a vehicular traffic violation. Produced in cooperation with the Police Department of Lower Marion Township, the video is an excellent example of initiatives that can be taken to promote mutual trust and respect between police officers and the communities they serve. Thanks, Marc.
Thank you so much for doing this. I mean, it really means a lot to us and the work that we're doing at St. Joe's.
Aidin uses the same thing. I don't want to bore the people with the same slow speech, but he also has the same award also. Aidin, we'd like to thank you guys
Thank you
and
very
welcome
much.
aboard on the committee.
Thank you.
so much.
It's a nice segue to the summit,
Definitely.
because you're both invited to attend the summit.
Yeah.
Well, there will be a presentation ceremony as well
Yeah, we're going to be there.
on Saturday, November the 11th.
Yes.
Where is it being held? Funny, I should ask, right?
Pop this up.
Sure.
Well, the summit will be at the Harold O. Davis Baptist Church, which is the 4500 block of 10th Street, Philadelphia, PA 19140. And it'll be held from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. on November the 11th, 2017. And we need everyone to show up. We need all and every citizen in the United States, hopefully, to come through there, because this is for everyone. The Race for Peace does have no divide, no separation. everyone's included, and we wish you well, and we love you all, you guys.
What's the program, though? You're going to make another presentation to the chief of police in Philadelphia, right?
Yes, Commissioner Richard Ross of Philadelphia, PA, he'll be getting a certificate of appreciation plaque also presented on behalf of the Race for Peace Committee. Yes.
And this is the second annual?
This is the second annual Race for Peace Summit. Yes.
What's the point of the summit? I know it's to bring people together, but is there some special purpose as well, other than honoring people and recognizing people who have been of help?
Definitely, Rick. It's to motivate people.
Okay.
To get them started. Like I say, the Race for Peace is in everyone. Everyone has the Race for Peace in them. And it's just to get that ball rolling, start those engines up, It's to get a better understanding, communication, and to develop trust, and to build barriers. And, like I always say, to create something else.
I think for the country, this couldn't have come along at a better time. I mean,
Thanks, Marc.
considering the national divide that we're having,
Yes.
where people, instead of coming together, they've been getting in separate corners. And people are not doing enough listening. There's not enough civility today. And especially at the very top, we're not seeing enough civility. So for you starting this, and we should be giving you the award because of doing this. And I just think it's great, and I hope that more people are going to jump on board. We're going to be more involved, and we have other ideas that we want to put together, especially in the area of entrepreneurship, which Aidin and I happen to have a great love, and that we're both entrepreneurs. And one of the things that I've been working on was originally called the Police Entrepreneurs Network, like the Police Athletic League, but now it's called Change the Hustle, and it may change back. But the whole idea is to teach inner city people how to develop their own businesses so they can control their own financial future, and so we can create jobs in the inner city, because you've got smart people there, you've got capable people. They're just not getting the opportunities. And one of the things that I would hear was that, oh, just show these people how to interview for a job. You mean like at McDonald's? Because frankly, I would be selling drugs and carjacking people if that's the most money that you can make. You can't support a family on that. So we want to enhance the chances of people's success.
Well, I really appreciate what Marc's doing and Aidin's doing, because it's all about not talking about it and being about it. Do something. These guys are actually doing something. I respect people putting their fist in the air like they really care, and I respect people who take a knee, but I always say go to the community. That's where it's needed at. I'd rather you not take a knee and go to the community that's needed, for certain things. And I'm not trying to discredit the awareness that these people are doing, but I just wish that they would just take a little bit more stride into going inside these communities like Marc and Aidin are doing, and educate us on how to cooperate with one another, and this really touches me, because he's reaching people, and he's doing what a lot of other people can be doing, so I really appreciate that.
This could be a very important moment, because what we've done here today is bring together, again, a man with a vision and a mission, and he's been successful so far in bringing a lot of people into the fold, and now some people who can be of help in increasing awareness, but getting something really substantive. I neglected to mention that Marc, in addition to being executive in residence, the reason he has earned that position and that stature at St. Joseph's is because he is an entrepreneur, he is an angel investor, he is an author of six books on marketing and entrepreneurship. He is a teacher. He's a number of things. He is an important member of the entrepreneurial ecosystem in this region, and is also the guy who pulls together the major event in the Philadelphia region, and that's the Angel Venture Fair, held every year downtown, and keeps that going throughout the year. So you couldn't have a better person on your side, and in terms of coming up with creative ways to get the message across and to engage a number of other people who can be of help.
I mean, we just ran a program that Rick participated in where it was strictly for women about how to raise capital for their venture, and it was a very diverse group culturally there. And now we're also going to be running a program next year on helping minorities raise capital, teaching them what it's going to take to raise capital, how to position themselves to go and do that, because we don't see many people of color at our events, and we do a lot of recruiting for that. So we feel like if they know more about it and they're going to build scalable businesses, then we want to get them in front of the right people to help them raise that capital.
And God bless you, Marc, for all that you're doing. I hope you're religious, man. You're religious, man.
I'm spiritual.
Okay, spiritual. Well, I don't want to offend anybody once again, but God bless you for
No, I appreciate it.
what you're doing, you know, and helping us, and we'll help you, and we'll help everybody, and that's how it goes.
For sure.
Okay, to wrap it up, once again, Race for Peace, a movement that Andrew started all by himself about 1.5 years ago.
Yes.
It's incredible the number of people he's brought on. High-level people, just about every police district in the region has at least
different
one or more different
municipalities,
representatives who come to the meetings, support the meetings, have been very, very active because they understand what you're trying to do, and it's all good. And on the other side of the table, we have two entrepreneurs, a senior and a junior, who are responsible for a gift, I think, to the community, a videotape that instructs people in what to do, how to behave, to observe the protocols, I guess, that are in place in the event that there is some encounter with a police officer. And that's good. If we can avoid just one confrontation with that videotape,
That's all we
it
want
will
out of this.
exactly. It will have
We
been
hope
well
people
worth the
who
effort.
watch this show will send that link to other people. So please put it on Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
please, and your school.
Especially our
Yes.
children and grandchildren.
Yes,
Who are susceptible.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Andrew, as always,
Thanks.
great
Thank
to see you.
Rick. God
Gentlemen,
bless you.
thank you very
so
much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for coming and joining.
Until
God bless.
next time, this is Race for Peace, one in a series that Radnor Studio 21 has been conducting to continue to support Race for Peace and the work that Andrew is doing. Until next time, take very good care of yourselves. I'm Rick Anthony.